Stay with us here on TVC Breakfast. Time now to look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning. The first with me is the Nation newspaper with the screaming headline, Bagudu Aliyu, White Tax Reform is Transformative. It's pro-poor, Akume explains, no provision for tax consultants. That's according to Oyedele. Forex inflows hit $4.05 billion. And then above the masthead, we have Girigupa emerges Nigerian Stock Exchange most compliant listed company for 2023. Tinubu hails Mahama on return to power in Ghana. Senator Ibraheem, $100 billion in failed project offer development opportunities. Also on the bottom strip, Russia grants asylum to fleeing Assad family after Syria's fall to rebels. You see that on page 5. The story has been making the rounds on different pages of the newspapers and also across media in the world. Next is the Blueprint newspaper. Tax reform bills, crucial democracy in action. Idris Bagudu, Nigeria needs reforms in all sectors. That's according to Gumi. Lawmakers against document ignorance. Shehu Sani. FCT IRS begins move to tax individuals earning over 25 million naira annually. Ghana, why ruling party's candidates conceded defeat to ex-president Mahama. Tinubu echoes INEC congratulate winner. Above the masthead, structural inequalities slowing down Africa's progress. That's according to World Bank. And then we have ticket pricing. FCCPC cautions airpeace against obstructing ongoing inquiry. Next is the Daily Times. Tax bills. Assess human rights impact. Serap urges National Assembly. Accra-bound flight loses 2 engines. Returns to Abuja. Investigations begin. Maritime safety. NIMET. MOCA. Partner to enhance marine weather. CITN urges journalists to promote accurate tax reform discourse. And then INEC bosses urge staff welfare as co-op declares 12.7 million naira dividends. Ghana, Tinubu congratulates Mahama by phone. And then on the bottom, we have Atiku reacts to opposition's victory in Ghana election. Next is First News newspaper. Airpeace fair probe sparks showdown. Kia Muslims FCCPC's careless claims. Regulator insists on investigation as tensions soar. Kwara Hospital warns of mass burial as mortuary overflows. DSS has no business searching bags at airport. Kiamo. Katsina police fought 2 kidnappings, rescue 20 victims. And above the masthead, on the ear of the newspaper, Tinubu congratulates Mahama, hails Ghana's democratic victory. No inheritance tax in proposed tax reform bills, says Oyedele. Kano's release won't hinder your VP ambitions, group tells Southeast governors. Facing out TET fund will destroy tertiary education, ASU president warns. Next is This Nigeria. Airfare, war of words. Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Council, Airpeace, aviation minister fight over alleged prohibitive costs of flight. Ghanaians celebrate return of Mahama as president-elect. Reform police, security agents to protect civil rights, group tasks, federal government. Troops clear IPOB camps, apprehend 2 and recover firearms, others in Southeast. Ambassadorial list in circulation, fake, says federal government. And on the ear of the newspaper, Yuletide, beware of fake drinks, NAFDAC warns Nigerians. Next is New Telegraph newspaper. Defections. APC decimates opposition ahead 2027. Ruling party accused of wooing opponents with return tickets. More PDP, Labour Party, National Assembly members planning to dump parties. You see that on page 9 and 10. How controversies over tax reform bills can be addressed by lawyers. 2025 budget, PPP pact without ICRC Act, compliance illegal, says federal government. And then global oil prices fall to $71 per barrel. AFCFTA, Nigeria consolidates leadership with 7.1 trillion naira exports. Good night's sleep linked to successful aging. That's according to study. Next is Nigerian Tribune. PDP chair pro-Damagum forces planned takeover of BOT. Other stakeholders mount pressure on David Mark to take over in February. 67 BOT members face uncertainty over plot. Wabara under pressure over stance on tenure of acting chairman. And then states have power to nominate tenured BOT members. That's according to National Publicity Secretary. You see that on page 4. At University of Oxford, a management conference, $100 billion in failed mega projects in Nigeria presents development opportunities, Jimo Ibraheem says. Multiple handling charges leave $1.5 billion Lagos-Ibadan cargo train stranded at Lagos port. Tax reform bills have no provisions for consultants on tax collection. That's according to Idris. How inflation, high cost of raw materials dampen manufacturers' confidence in food, beverage, textile sectors. FM's Eurobond issuance bolster FX reserves, Naira stability. And next is the Punch newspaper. Lakurawa, Nigeria, neighbors begin offensive against new terror group. Defense headquarters vows to block security gaps as Nigeria, Chad, Niger hold joint military operations. Syrian rebels oust Assad, end 60-year family rule. Tax reform, Akume plays down northern opposition as Senate meets AGF. Last with me here is the Platform Times. Ogun election, ad hoc staff lament non-payment of allowances 3 weeks after polls. Abia businessman accuses EFCC operatives of midnight raid, harassment of pregnant wife. Police officers reject $17,000 bribe, arrest suspected fraudsters in Rivers. NAFDAC warns bakeries against use of saccharin bromate in bread. That's about it with me. Olamide.
Right. I begin here with the Salient Times, and the big story says the Federal Workers Forum lament over new minimum wage. They cry the meager consequential adjustment, unhappy over delay in salaries of federal workers. The government is still owing 5 months wage awards. Arrears of the minimum wage orders, says the NLC-TUC, have also failed Nigerian workers. The leadership of the two unions deserve a vote of no confidence, alleged that the two labor union leadership have sold out workers. And we'll go after bad Nigerians. They are in trouble. Tinubu threatens. And weeks after Ondo gubernatorial poll, INEC ad hoc staff threaten protest over unpaid allowances. Tinubu ECOWAS congratulates Ghanaian President-elect John Mahama. But that's it on the Salient Times. To the national economy, bleak Christmas beckons as poor Nigerians grapple with high food prices. Additional 17 million fall into poverty. That's according to a World Bank figure. And the story here is on forgotten heroes who will save Nigeria's retirees from pension woes. Some stories on the front page of the national economy. Let's go to Daily Independence. Like Christmas, as banks hoard cash, analysts ask the CBN to act fast before festive period. Serap asks Akpabio Abbas to match human rights with tax reform bills. Tinubu congratulates Ghana's president-elect, says his ascension will stabilize ECOWAS. And next is the Voice of Liberty. Fuel scarcity averted as Petron partners with Dangote refinery. People may not like us, but things are changing, Tinubu says. Nigeria's economy is still facing crisis. The CBN is admitting. Well, in Syria, 54 years after Bashar al-Assad's regime has finally been toppled. The major stories on the front page of the Voice of Liberty. To the leadership newspaper. FCCPC cautions airpeace over against the obstructing inquiry. Sarab Nas assessed impact of tax reform bills on human rights. Late budget presentation alters January to December cycle. There is fair committees may not do a thorough job. The federal government has also dismissed the viral ambassadorial list, and Governor Bagudu gives 100 medical students scholarship in the states. Some stories on the front page of the leadership. To Nigerian News Direct, Tinubu still in Nigerians' goodwill, will be president till 2031. The SGF is quoted as saying, we will achieve 6,000 megawatt power generation by the end of December. That's according to Adebayo Adelabu. We have reduced debt, avoided borrowing. That's according to the governor of Osun State, Adeleke, reacting to high debt profile allegations. And next is The Guardian. On tax reform bill, state eye 180% hike in VAT earnings amid push for fiscal federalism. And CDC tells health facilities to intensify checks for SARS-CoV-2 variants. To have failed workers, Labour group flays the NLC, the TUC. Minister operators FCCB speaker over airfare pricing regulatory rights. Well, these are the major stories on the front page of The Guardian. To the Inquirer, Abuja community raises concern over a one-year blackout on taxation. FCT IRS targets 10,000 high earners, give 2-week ultimatum on payments. Ghana posed netizens to Tinubu improve or see. In Ondo, 17,000 ad hoc staff, INEC at loggerheads overpay. Increases in U.S. life expectancy forecasted to stall by 2050. That's outside the country. Let's go to Nature News. Climate experts converge on Malaysia for IPCC's 7th assessment report. The World Bank has secured $100 billion to fight climate poverty in 78 nations. Rivers descent on illegal dump sites over environmental hazards. The major stories on the front page of the Nature News. And finally, in Sport and Life this morning, Victor Osimhen net goal becomes first Gala star to score assists in 8 out of 9 games. Vows to stay in Turkey till end of season. Indeed, he suffers a hamstring injury and says, I hope it's a minor van. Bass is suspended to miss Liverpool game as Moses Simon nets wonder goal. Well, these are the major stories on the front page of the newspaper this morning, Ibraheem.
Right, and that's about it. I believe that Nigerians have been updated and they've got a lot to chew on this morning.